my name is Iris France. Today I'm going to talk about consumer theory and utility maximization. So you probably heard from your professor, in order to maximize the utility from consuming goods and services, you need to make sure that first you spend the entire budget, and second of all, you need to make sure that marginal utility per dollar must be equal for each good. So for example, if you're buying fruit and you have a budget $10 for fruit, then you need to make sure that you spend the entire $10 on fruit. And second of all, you need to make sure, so for example, if you're buying apples and oranges, then the marginal utility per dollar from apples must be equal to the marginal utility per dollar from oranges. So I know this is a little bit abstract, so I want you to, for now, forget about consumer theory, and we're going to illustrate consumer theory with studying for final exam. So we all have studied final exam before, and which subject do you study next? You're doing this calculation in the back of your mind. So there are two criteria that must be met. First of all, you need to use all the time available to study. So when you have time, you're studying, you're not playing computer games, you're not partying. Second of all, you need to make sure that marginal point per hour must be equal. So suppose you're studying two subjects, economics and accounting. Then you need to make sure that marginal point per hour for accounting must be equal to marginal point per hour for economics. So now suppose you're very familiar with accounting, you know that inside and out. So at this point, if you spend 1 extra hour on studying accounting, that's not going to raise your points a lot, right? Because you already know that inside and out. So at this point, if you spend 1 extra hour on studying accounting, then that's going to raise your accounting points by 1 point. And suppose you're not very familiar with economics, so if you spend 1 extra hour in studying economics, that's going to raise your econ points by 5, because you're not very familiar with that. Now, suppose your accounting point is 93 and econ is 90, so your total points is 183. Now I'm going to tell you, because marginal point per hour are not equal, so the total points is not maximized. So suppose we shift the last hour from studying accounting to studying economics. Then that's going to bring down your accounting point by 1 point, because your marginal point per hour for accounting is 1. So your accounting is going to go down from 93 points to 92 points. But then you shift the hour from accounting to studying economics. So that's going to increase your point of economics from 90 to 95. Now sum up the total points. See, 187. That's better than 183. Why is that? Well, because your marginal point per hour is not equal. Now suppose after the shift, you are now more familiar with economics. So that is going to lower your marginal point per hour for economics. Why? Because you're more familiar with economics. And at this point, if you study more economics, it's not going to bring up your point quite a bit. And for accounting, because you reduce 1 hour studying accounting, so that's going to increase your marginal point per hour for accounting, because you shifted hour from studying accounting to economics, so you're not familiar with accounting that much anymore. You don't know the book inside and out anymore. So now suppose they're equal. And now I tell you, because they're equal, your total points is already maximized. You cannot improve it. So suppose at this point we still shift studying hour from accounting to economics, then that's going to bring up our it's going to bring up our econ point by 3 points, and it's going to bring down our accounting by 3 points. So our accounting is going to go down from 92 to 89, and our economics is going to go up from 95 to 98. So together you have 187 points. See, it's already maximized. You cannot improve it. So now you ask me, sometimes I'm really not familiar with the subject to the point that I'm giving it up. I plan to just fail it, so I don't study at all. How is that? Well, the reason is if you don't study, you get 0 points. You're not familiar with the subject at all. And if you study very, very hard, probably get 40 points. So your grade is going to go from F to another F. So your marginal benefit per studying hour is actually 0. That's why you decide I'm going to give that up. So believe me, you calculate this in the back of your mind, and that's the same way we calculate how to maximize our utility when we're deciding which good and which service to buy. First of all, you have a budget, and you spend the entire budget on a certain thing that you have that budget. And second of all, you need to make sure marginal utility per dollar is equal. If they are not equal, so if the marginal utility per dollar from apples is higher than marginal utility per dollar from oranges, that means apples are a better investment. You need to spend more money on apples to increase your utility and reduce the money you spend on oranges. Likewise, if your marginal point per hour is not equal, say econ is 5 points and accounting is 1 point, that means spending time on studying economics is a better investment. So you should spend more time on studying economics. So I hope this helps, and thanks for watching. Good luck with your studying.